Step into the shadows of Haven of Health Hospital, where nothing is ever as it seems. Heather, a genius physics professor, yes, the kind who makes quantum puzzles look easy, walks into A&E with a mysterious bulge. Not the I accidentally bought crypto at its peak kind of bulge in your wallet, but an actual, physical, groin bulge. Simple hernia repair, right? Wrong. Heather walks out minus a healthy gallbladder, plus a cascade of medical chaos. Consent forms with riddles, surgeries with shocking twists, organ removal that raises more questions than answers, to bile leaks and hallway collapses. This story will leave you speechless. Buckle up for a story that proves sometimes the scalpel cuts deeper than expected, both literally and figuratively. But before we unravel Heather's hospital horror, drop a comment. What's the craziest hospital mishap you've ever heard of? And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and tap that notification bell for more jaw-dropping tales from Haven of Health.
In the healthcare system, negligence in treatment, misdiagnoses, and outright inaction can lead to injury, disease, disability, or even death. At Haven of Health Hospital, where health is always the priority, these mishaps occur more frequently than they should. The staff, once sworn to protect life, now navigate a maze of oversights, bizarre events, and struggle to survive the chaos. These are their stories.
All right, folks, buckle up, because today's tale is one for the medical history books. And by history, I mean a long, winding saga of confusion, questionable decisions, and just enough absurdity to keep you both horrified and entertained. 1200 hours. Meet Heather. Ah, Heather. She's not your average hospital patient. Oh no, no, no. This is a 48-year-old physics professor, people, with the kind of academic pedigree that makes you wonder how she hasn't solved quantum entanglement yet. She's the kind of academic powerhouse that makes you wonder if she's one lab experiment away from cracking the secrets of the universe. But today, Heather isn't cracking any cosmic codes or dazzling her students with riveting lectures on quantum theory. Nope. Heather has traded her lecture hall for the fluorescent lit vibe of Haven of Health Hospital's A&E waiting room. And why, you ask, has our quantum queen abandoned her natural habitat of whiteboards and confused students? Because she's sporting a brand new, totally unexpected accessory, a groin bulge. Now, before you jump to conclusions, this isn't some bold fashion statement or avant-garde making waves in Milan. Nope, Heather's bulge comes with a list of complaints. Burning? Check. Aching? Oh, you bet. Heather describes it all with the precision of a scientist, detailing how her groin feels like it's hosting a tiny but very angry gremlin, throwing a tantrum. The pain exhibits a curious correlation with gravitational movements, she says. Translation for us, mere mortals. It hurts like hell when she coughs, bends over, or, brace yourselves, bears down during a bowel movement. The nurses, they try to maintain their professional composure. They really do. But let's just say their poker faces need some serious work. Vegas won't be calling anytime soon. So, what's the verdict? After a thorough physical exam and some high-tech imaging, because what's a hospital visit without some uncomfortably long waits? The diagnosis is in a hernia. That's right, folks. The woman who can explain string theory is being defeated by what's essentially a hole in her belly. Oh, the irony. It's like being a master locksmith and getting locked out of your house. But don't worry. The solution is simple. Hernia repair surgery. Pretty straightforward, routine procedure, right? No big deal, right? Well, not for Heather because this is her first surgery. Ever. So naturally, she's nervous. She's a little on edge. I mean, can you blame her? The doctors hit her with the usual medical spiel about risks. Bleeding, infection, and oh, the slight possibility of death. You know, the fun stuff. Just your typical Tuesday conversation. She nods along, probably wishing she could solve this problem with a differential equation instead of a scalpel. Our quantum warrior signs the consent form like a trooper accepting a Nobel Prize and braces herself for her big date with a scalpel. Fast forward to surgery day. Heather is prepped and wheeled into the safe hands OR. The good news, The surgery goes off without a hitch. The bad news? Well, we'll get to that. Post-op care is as smooth as butter. The nurses at the gut guard ward treat Professor Heather like royalty. I mean, who wouldn't want to pamper someone who could potentially explain dark matter over breakfast? Doctors give her the thumbs up, and Heather's ready to head home just 2 days later. Yes, folks, Heather, the esteemed physics professor, is discharged faster than a particle in a super collider. Hernia fixed? Check. Groin gremlin evicted? Check. Dignity mostly intact? Sure, why not? Or so she thinks. Because here at Haven of Health, the real fun often starts after you leave. At Haven of Health, a guaranteed safe recovery is supposedly standard, or at least that's what the brochure promises. After almost a week of quality time with Netflix, because nothing helps healing like binge-watching entire seasons of shows you'll never admit to watching, Heather decides she's ready to return to her natural habitat, the lecture hall. But folks, this is where John Lennon crashes the party with his famous quote about life and plans. And boy, does life have some plans for our girl. So, there she is, back at her prestigious university, about to wow her students with the wonders of quantum mechanics. Except, instead of wave-particle duality, her bowels decide to conduct their own experiment in chaos theory. She's wrestling with a different phenomenon. Sudden, unstoppable diarrhea. But wait, there's more. We've got bloating as a bonus feature, because why settle for one gastrointestinal curveball when you can have two? Heather, ever the problem solver, does what any rational, educated person would: consult Dr. Google. She skims through search results ranging from mild post-op issues to the apocalypse is in your bowels. She even braves Google Scholar for some medical papers, and the consensus seems reassuring-ish. As per her consultation with Dr. Google, diarrhea and bloating can sometimes follow abdominal surgery. And yeah, the surgeons were in there rearranging her insides like they were redecorating a living room. So yeah, things might feel a little unsettled. So, armed with this comforting, if vague, reassurance, Heather decides to soldier on, figuring it's just her body's way of being dramatic. But oh no, Heather, you sweet summer child. It's a regular day at work. Heather's teaching, her students are zoning out, and then bam! Mid-lecture about wave-particle duality, Heather's body decides to demonstrate the uncertainty principle. Specifically, the uncertainty of whether she'll make it to the bathroom. She makes a frantic dash, muttering apologies to her confused class, and then, plot twist, she collapses faster than a quantum wave function. Right there, in the hallway. Her colleagues probably thinking, this wasn't in the faculty handbook, spring into action, calling an ambulance. 0930 hours. Heather finds herself back in the loving embrace of Haven of Health Hospital's A&E. This time, however, the vibe is different. Less routine checkup and more, what in the name of Newton's apple is happening? The doctors, perhaps motivated by curiosity or sheer disbelief, conduct a thorough physical exam. And now, folks, prepare yourselves for the twist ending that'll make M. Night Shyamalan jealous. Remember that Hernia Heather had surgically repaired almost 2 weeks ago. The one she signed the consent form for, braved her first ever surgery for, and was supposedly fixed. Yeah, about that. It's still there.
Previously on When Surgeries Go Wild, the hernia wasn't just back, it never left. Plot twist worthy of M. Night Shyamalan himself, folks.
The hernia pulled the ultimate I'll be back move. It's basically the Terminator of medical conditions. You're probably thinking, oh, maybe it's a new hernia, a sneaky cousin hernia, a hernia twice removed hiding in the shadows. Nope. Same hernia, same location, same everything. It's like that ex who keeps accidentally liking your Instagram posts from 2015. Or the ex who refuses to get the hint and keeps showing up uninvited. Let's take a moment to imagine Heather's face as this revelation sinks in. You can almost hear her internal monologue. Wait, so you cut me open, played around in there, sewed me back up, and what? Just left the hernia to continue its residency. Did you guys even look for it? But wait, there's more. Because Haven of Health isn't done playing House of Horrors. A slew of tests reveals yet another problem. Guess where? Yep. Heather's abdomen is now the hospital's favourite mystery box, delivering plot twist after plot twist. What's next? A hernia that causes a wormhole. Oh, where do we even begin? Heather's abdomen is officially the Bermuda Triangle of the human body. Things go in, but nothing's escaping except bile. That's the latest development. Folks, a bile leak. Yes, Heather's bile has decided to go on an unauthorized field trip because of something ominously called an alteration of biliary flow. Sounds fancy, right? And why is her bile flowing like it's late to catch a train? What does it all mean? Now, for those of you who slept through biology, bile is that lovely digestive juice your liver makes to help you break down fat. It is basically your body's very own dishwashing liquid. It's supposed to flow smoothly from your liver to your small intestine via a handy tiny channel called the bile duct. But for Heather, this system has gone rogue. Heather's bile. It's going wherever it wants, like a teenager with a new driver's license. Why? Oh, just a minor detail. Funny story, really. She doesn't have a gallbladder. Shocking, right? I can practically hear you gasp. Wait, what? Yeah, you heard that right. Heather's gallbladder, gone, vanished, poof, like my motivation at the gym. And when, you ask, did Heather lose her gallbladder? Well, not since birth, if that's what you're thinking. Nope. Heather came into this world fully equipped with all her internal organs. Thank you very much. And here's where it gets wild. She just had her first ever surgery, when they fixed the hernia. Strike that. Hernia's still there. So, nope, it's a more recent development. The timeline. Almost 2 weeks ago. The supposed crime scene. That routine hernia surgery. You know, the one she signed up for to evict her pesky groin gremlin and patch up her abdominal wall. Seems straightforward, right? That's what she thought too. She confidently rolled into Safe Hand's operating room, expecting a quick fix and a hernia-free future. But, surprise, plot twist. Somehow, that simple procedure escalated into an unplanned gallbladder heist. Yes, that one. Yeah, let that sink in for a second. One moment they're fixing a hernia, or are they? The next they're playing, let's remove an organ. Like, was there a mix-up in the OR? Did someone misread the charts? Did the surgeon get a little too enthusiastic about decluttering? Were they having a Marie Kondo moment? Like, does this gallbladder spark joy? No? Out it goes. You had one job, surgeon. One job. Now I hear your outrage. I can hear you gasping. How? Why? The chants are practically deafening. Lock the surgeon up! Lock the surgeon up! And trust me, I'm with you. But settle down. Hold on to something. Grab a pillow or some popcorn because it gets worse. Turns out Heather signed a consent form, drumroll please, for gallbladder removal. Oh yeah. This wasn't some rogue operation gone wild. This was all legal-ish. Folks, I can practically hear you screaming, wait, what? Heather consented to this? Well, yes and no. She signed the consent form, sure. Now, before you clutch your pearls in outrage, let me clarify. Heather didn't intend to evict her gallbladder. Confused much? Well, me too. And no, before you ask, Heather wasn't donating her gallbladder to science or a human. Gallbladder transplants are basically non-existent these days because supposedly humans can live just fine without one. Who knew? Certainly not Heather. Probably not even the gallbladder itself. Heather just didn't read the consent form. But let's be honest. When's the last time anyone actually read one of those? Now, I know you are like, what? Who doesn't read a consent form before surgery? Well, let me ask you this. When's the last time you read the terms and conditions for your iPhone update? Yeah, that's what I thought. Heather, trusting soul that she is, didn't realize she'd signed off on a completely unnecessary gallbladder eviction. And why would she? She didn't have gallstones, cholecystitis, or any of the usual suspects that would warrant gallbladder surgery. Nope, her records were as clean as a whistle. So, how does this even happen? Didn't anyone double-check her medical history? Or confirm that her gallbladder was the problem? Apparently not. It's as if the surgeon spun the wheel of surgical fortune. Where it stops, nobody knows. Will it be appendix? Tonsils? No, it's gallbladder. But hold on, we're not done yet. Heather now needs another surgery to fix the bile leak caused by the gallbladder she didn't need to lose in the first place. And guess who shows up to handle the consent to repair the bile leak? Yep, Rupert, the same surgeon. You know, the one who accidentally, but technically legally, removed her perfectly healthy gallbladder. So, Rupert strolls in, calm and composed, like he's about to pitch her a timeshare. Does Rupert recognize Heather? Nope. But lucky for Rupert, Heather doesn't seem to remember him either. So he's like, "Oh, hey Heather, about that little bile leak. No worries. We'll just patch it up with a quick surgery. Sound good?" This time, Heather isn't playing around. She grabs the consent form and reads it like she's cramming for an exam. Yeah, she doesn't want surprises, like the hernia repair that didn't actually fix the hernia. Heather takes her sweet time reading the consent form. She reads all of the consent form, like word for word. She nods, points to the crucial sections, asks a few pointed questions. She checks the fine print, the bold print, even the margins, just in case the hospital casually slid in an extra surgery like it was an add-on in a mobile game. The surgery is to repair the bile leak, nothing else. Period. Satisfied, she signs off, and the surgery is a go. Post-op, Heather is wheeled back to the gut guard ward. Next morning, Rupert and the surgical team are doing their victory lap, and boy, do they look pleased. Heather's greeted with the news. The bile leak, fixed. But wait, there's more. Rupert tells Heather that he is the same surgeon who, you guessed it, removed her gallbladder. He even teases her for being a frequent flyer, hospital speak for a patient who repeatedly visits the hospital. And guess what? Nobody told Rupert that Heather is, let's just say, not exactly thrilled with their earlier handiwork. Ladies and gentlemen, in the blue corner, we have our returning champion, the surprise surgeon Rupert. And in the red corner, weighing in with one missing gallbladder and a deadly glare, we have Professor Heather. Now, here's the kicker. Rupert also casually drops that. He also repaired her hernia. That's right, folks. It's a 2-for-1 special, but with scalpel work instead of coupons. Now, folks, let's take a moment to appreciate the moment here. This is the same surgeon who mistakenly removed her healthy gallbladder, and now he has repaired a hernia she did not consent to. The same surgeon no one bothered to tell, "Hey, Heather's not exactly thrilled with you right now." And yet, here he is, swooping in like a surgical superhero to save the day. And there you have it, folks. Another perfect day at Haven of Health Hospital, where the consent forms are optional reading, the surgical outcomes are unpredictable, and the 2-for-1 specials are always a surprise. No gallbladders were harmed in the making of this story.